Let's learn some Torah. That's the Iker. Lamed Aleph, Amid Beis. Lamed Aleph, Amid Beis. I'm going to go drop back to Amar Mar. Amar Mar, about 12 lines from the top. The first one line is Koi Kamashma Lon. Amar Mar. Loy Matzah Esrog. You don't find an Esrog. Loy Avi Loy Rimon. You can't bring a pomegranate, a low parish, a quince. Veloy Davar Ach. Frakti Gemara. The Hilly David is here. Hilly David. Frakti Gemara Pshita. Of course you can't bring anything else. Answers the Gemara, Ma'u Detema, an interesting Havamina. And the truth is, if anyone thinks about this Havamina, you could go a little wild with it. Staying in the Torah, you have to have a Nesrei, a Lulav, Hadassim, Varas. Says the Gemara, you know what your Havamina would be? Ma'u Detema, Lacey, you should bring a quince. Why? A lemon. So that's Sishkach Torah's Esrog. If you go down that mahalach, it's just fascinating. Can you imagine what would have been throughout Europe? There are many times that Yidden couldn't do certain mitzvahs. So, we can't have a menorah. So let's have a tree. Like it's a oh yeah, you don't have matzah, so let's have a dalit piece of popcorn. It's a funny zach. It's a very funny avamina. But as we mentioned in the previous year, we do certain things. We do this right on Leil Seder. We have an egg. What's the egg for? Zich for the carbon chagiga. So there is an element. I don't know if that's so shishkach teres chagiga, but there is an element of zicher. So interesting thing says the Gemara. Dasi Kamash that we do not. Why? Zimnin Dinavit Chorban Minei Dasi Lemisach. People would think that that's the actual mitzvah. Tashima.
And lulav not? If you can't find a lulav.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Beautiful question. The whole Havamina, very good. Very good. It's really beautiful. I like that question a lot. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. I do not have an answer. I don't have an answer. That's a very good question. Here's a question. The Gemara is handling, if you don't have an answer, you maybe bring a quince. So that's the Gemara, a quince with sheikhs in the Welt. It says in the entire Esrog. Says more, because maybe you're going to forget the whole mitzvah of Esrog, so bring a quince. So Frecker of Surely, what if you don't have a lulav? The whole Gemara sounds like it's a din in Esrog. What sheikh is Esrog? Very good kasha. Okay. Tashima continues the Gemara. Esrog Hayashan, an old Esrog. Pasol. Esrog Hayashan, Pasol. A middle of Sheriff Shui. I'm going to give you a call in about 20 minutes. Esrog Hayashan, Pasol. Rav Yehuda Machshir. Rav Yehuda says an old Esrog is kosher. Says the Gemara. Tiyofta, de Rava, Tiyofta. What's Rava? No, which din of Rava is this? Who remembers? Back on the bottom of Amid Aleph, what did Rava say? Rava came along, Machloikes Belulav. The Rabbanan Savri. Oh, my Esrog by other Lubayad. Read the Lomakshi. Avol Be'esrog Divri Akol Hadar. Practic Gemara. See, clearly, not everyone holds the Esrog needs Hadar. Absolutely beautiful. Frak Gemara. Okay, so you said Kasha and Rav. But Tachlis, Veloy by Yadar. Does it not have to be Yadar? Vanantanan. But we learned in a Mishnah. Hayara Kikarti, if it's green like a leek. Rabbi Meir, Machshir. Rabbi Yehuda, Paisel. Rabbi Meir says it's kosher. Rabbi Yehuda says it's possible. Why does Rabbi Yehuda say it's possible? La mishom de boy hadar. Is it not because it needs to be hadar? So what's the kasha? The brayso we just quoted said an old Esrog. Rabbi Yehuda says it's kosher. So what's going on? An old Esrog is kosher, and yet now we're saying if it's green like a leek, it's going to be possible. Answers the Gemara.
Leak? Why can I just say?
Oh, okay. Green like a leek just means, they didn't have.
Point of reference.
Yeah, it's showing like a strong green. That's l'chayr what it means. It says, yeah, exactly. Says the Gemara, loy. That's not the reason. Mishum to loy gamar peira, because it's not a complete peri. Now that's a very interesting answer. What does that mean? That means is that there's a stage in which it is not a ripe fruit. So if it's not ripe, you can't be Yetzer Mitzvah. Now, the reason why this is a little hard to quantify, at what point is it called complete? When it's green like a leek, it's not complete. It's a little bit of a funny thing. It might not be the most.
It has to be roy lachila.
Oh,
We're not eating it. We're using it.
we're not saying roy lachila. Where does it say it's not roy lachila? Where it says it's not gemar pri. It's not finished yet. It's not. It's almost like if you have an unripe fruit, it's not the fruit it's yet. Which you pointed at a very good point. Yeah, well, what is this psul? I mean, the Gemara wanted to say it's a psul in Hadar, which is very logical. The Gemara's answering, no, it's not a psul in Hadar. It's a psul that is not complete. Okay. Tashema.
It's not. It's saying it's not an answer. It's not complete. It's
Oh.
not an answer. If you want one a little
Good.
green,
No.
that's
So Avi's pointing out, l'chayra, it's a not a din in Hadar. That's the answer. It's just not it.
Because it's not yet complete, then it's not hadar.
No, but if it's not a hadar, then that's the kasha of the Gemara. Then Rav Yehuda holds of hadar, obviously, but we saw in the previous race he doesn't. So the answer is
hadar is because it's not complete, not considered an esrog.
But it's not because it's not a hadar. The problem of Hidra, Rav Yehuda doesn't hold of. Rav Yehuda holds just not an esrog. That's obvious pointing out. It's just not an esrog. I have to take an esrog. This is not an esrog. Very good. It's a two-step process. Beautiful. Tashima continues the Gemara. Shir esrog katan. What is the size of a small esrog? Rabbi Meir Omer ke'egois, a walnut, quite a small esrog. Rabbi Yehuda Omer kebeya, also pretty small esrog, but not as small. Says the Gemara. What's the reason that Rabbi Yehuda says your esrog has to be at least a kebeya? Suggests the Gemara, la misham debai hadar. Is it not because the holder needs to be beautiful? Answers the Gemara, loy misham gamar, loy gamar peri. Which really shows us that the way we were explaining the previous step of the Gemara was accurate. Is that the Gemara is saying, surely I like the way you just said it, it's a second step. Step number one is you got to have a fruit. Once you have the fruit, then you could dan, is it hadar or not? Tashema, we continue asking kashos, 3 lines on the white lines. Ubegadol. What's the largest size of an esrog? You have to be able to hold 2 of them in one hand. If you could balance 2 in one hand, that's okay. For one. So if you have 2, the size that you could hold shnayim, 2 of them in one hand, Divi Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi Omer, you know how big? Afilu echad b'shtei yadav. One esrog in 2 hands. You can think about it. It could be a esrog. 1 in 2 hands. That's massive. Yeah, mamish a pumpkin. That would be kosher. Afilu echad b'shtei yadav. So says the Gemara. Why does Rabbi Yehuda hold it has to be a little bit smaller? La misham debai la ma'itaima la misham debai hadar. Which we think, which again, this is a very interesting detail. Why? Because pumpkins are less beautiful than esrogim. Well, because it's that big, it's not beautiful.
It's so big that it makes it.
I guess so. Big. I guess so. It just I don't know. I could have heard the other way. I could have heard that the bigger the better. I don't know. Bigger is better. I don't know. I'm tough at it. Keep your opinion to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I like watermelons.
Like small pieces of watermelon. Nice.
Yeah, I know. You're saying that this is saying there's a point. It's just too much.
Somewhat grotesque.
It's too much. Right. Interesting. Says the Gemara. Loy. That's not the reason. That's the Havamina.
It's too big. What does that have to do with, like people do with the shtick everyone does with the shanas and this and that?
Yeah.
Also.
So you're saying it comes to point. No, it's true. No, Hashanis is a brisker chumrah to have bigger Hashanis. So sometimes you see the certain people that walk in shul, it's pasha a tree, manish. It's a 12 feet long It's like the veil on the college dress. It's trailing behind you. You're walking like this, and it's all right there. You try to whack it, and you take off 4 people behind you, 3 people in front of you. But what's everyone calling me tonight? Shah. Baruch Hashem. Says Gemara Loi. That's not the reason. What's the reason? It's really you just were machavin. Even the Amar Rabbo, since we know there's a din, lulav biyamin, ve'esrig bismol. The lulav has to be in your right hand. The esrog has to be in your left hand. Zimnin, there'll be times. Demachalfi lei, va'asi lafuchinu, va'asi lifsuli. It's going to come to turn to get them mixed up. And they're going to come to flip over, and they come puzzle. That's why Rabbi Yehuda holds you need to be able to hold 2 in one hand. You push it, need to be able to balance it. If it's too big, says Rabbi Yehuda, what's going to happen? You're going to pick up one, you're going to pick up the other one, and it's going to get all messed up, and you're going to try to switch them around, and it's not going to work. That's why you need to be able to hold 2 in one hand. Says the Gemara, okay, fellow Rabbi Yehuda, ksiv hadar. The obvious kasha. We're busy saying Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold the Hadar. Rabbi Yehuda, Shalom Aleichem. The Torah said Hadar. Says the Gemara, a fascinating Chiddush. You ask anyone, what does Hadar mean? Beautiful. You know what Rabbi Yehuda said? No, the word Hadar doesn't mean beautiful. How? Hadar. It's that which lives. Dar means to live. Dira is an apartment. How? Hadar, that which lives. Be Ilonoi, on its tree. Mishana lishana, from year to year. Says Rabbi Yehuda. When you read the Torah, and this is either the beauty or the reason for you to lose your mind in learning. The beauty is that the same word can have meaning 2 no shaykhs things. The difficulty is that 2 words can mean 2 no shaykhs things. Says Rabbi Yehuda, the word hadar doesn't mean beautiful. It just means it needs to be an item that is dar, that lives on the tree from year to year.
Rashi says.
Oh, what does Rashi say? No. Mahacha shaymina de esrog amar kra. The Torah never says an esrog. It says a pre-8 hadar. Kaplis Tamarim. What's a pre-8 hadar? If I tell you, you know what the mitzvah is? Take a pre-8, a beautiful fruit of the tree. What is that? Maybe it's an apple. Says Rabbi Yehuda, pre-8 hadar. It's a fruit that lasts on the tree from year to year. That's the critical defining. So I don't know if there's no other fruits. Yeah. I
No other fruit can go from year to year. So
I know. That's Rashi says that. The problem is it's a little bit difficult. There are fruits that do it, but I guess this means in their natural habitat.
Rashi's living in a natural time.
I guess so. It's
steroid fruits.
Yeah. No, also I think what it might even be is that even if we have fruits nowadays that can last, they're not really in the same level. And esrog is unique that the esrog will mamish stay fresh from year to year. That's how Rav Yehuda learns. So we have a fascinating chiddush. If you were to ask, is there a din of hadar in an esrog? You know what the answer is? It's a trick question. There is a din of hadar. What does hadar mean? According to everyone, and obviously the way we paskin, hadar means beautiful. Says Rav Yehuda, no shaykhis. It doesn't mean beautiful. It means it lives on the tree from year to year. Absolutely. Correct. Right. I'll tell you why I say it that way. Because if you were to say to a person, does everyone hold of hadar? No. If you doesn't hold of hadar, then they ask you, what does it do with the Torah? It's a pasuk. Right. The answer is avada. It's a pasuk, but he learns the pasuk differently. The word hadar in the pasuk doesn't mean beautiful. It means it dwells on the tree from year to year. Beautiful. Well, that's part of our Gemara. You're right. That's part of what we're discussing. The Havamina is it a problem with hadar? No. It's 100% true. Which, by the way, la halacha, what you just said is very, very valuable. One of the biggest things when it comes to buying a lulav esrog and adasim is it should be beautiful. The din of hadar. It's a big machlokes. What is the din of hadar? So you should know. According to most opinions, hadar is subjective. Yeah. Hadar is not it is hadar. Now there are certain things that la halacha give him more hadar. L'mashal. They see that the bumps. That's how it grows. But the bumps on esrog. The bumps, they say, gives it a hiddur. Now, maybe I like a bumpy list esrog. Say the bumps give it a hadar. The color. You can't say I like a green esrog. No, a beautiful esrog is yellow. So the more yellow, the more hadr. Does that mean if it's not yellow, it's not kosher? Of course, kosher. It can still be beautiful. That's where it gets very complicated. How to weigh? Well, this, they talk about the shape. Some people like a very fat. Some people like a skinny. Some people like, So that
kind of
boils
makes
down to
sense, but
hadr.
it's subjective. because
Correct.
Hashem wants you to pick something that you
Correct.
think is beautiful.
Correct. It is a little bit
Otherwise,
complicated.
it would be a specific requirement. It has to have
Correct.
this many bumps.
100%. 100%. 100%. Okay.